Disappear for 90 days and return unrecognizable. This is not motivational fluff or temporary lifestyle advice. This is a complete transformation protocol that will fundamentally rewire your brain, rebuild your body, and reconstruct your entire relationship with challenge, comfort, and personal power. What I am about to share with you is the most intense and effective method for breaking free from the mediocrity trap that has captured most men in modern society. But it requires a level of commitment and discipline that 99% of people will read about but never actually implement. If you are not ready to sacrifice everything comfortable and familiar for 90 days in order to become someone completely different, stop watching now, because this protocol is not for the weak, the comfortable, or the half-committed. The foundation of transformational isolation is understanding that your current identity, habits, and environment are the primary obstacles preventing you from accessing your full potential as a man. Every comfort you cling to, every distraction you use to avoid facing yourself, every social obligation that keeps you playing small, these are the chains that keep you trapped in a version of yourself that is far below what you are capable of becoming. But here is what most people do not understand about transformation. Real change cannot happen while you are surrounded by the same triggers, temptations, and social pressures that created your current limitations in the first place. You cannot become a warrior while living like a civilian, and you cannot develop extraordinary discipline while remaining embedded in ordinary circumstances that reward mediocrity and punish excellence. The 90-day disappearance protocol requires you to systematically eliminate every element of your current lifestyle that serves as a crutch, distraction, or excuse for remaining small. This means cutting off social media entirely, not reducing it, not limiting it, but completely eliminating your access to the dopamine manipulation systems that have been rewiring your brain for instant gratification and external validation. This means ending casual social activities that drain your energy without contributing to your growth. The meaningless hangouts, the time-wasting conversations, the social obligations that exist purely for entertainment rather than development. This means removing entertainment consumption that numbs your mind and prevents you from developing the capacity to be alone with your own thoughts. No streaming services, no random YouTube videos, no podcasts that serve as background noise rather than focused learning. But elimination is only the first phase of the protocol. The second phase involves replacing every eliminated distraction with disciplined practices that forge mental, physical, and spiritual strength that cannot be developed while living a comfortable life. The physical transformation component requires training your body like your life depends on it, not for aesthetic purposes, but for developing the kind of functional strength and endurance that creates unshakable confidence in your own capabilities. This means intense daily workouts that push you beyond your comfort zone and teach you that your limits are mostly mental constructs rather than physical realities. This means embracing discomfort through practices like cold exposure, which rewires your nervous system to handle stress and builds the kind of mental toughness that transfers to every other area of your life. This means learning practical skills that make you genuinely useful in challenging situations, combat training, survival skills, technical abilities that increase your competence and self-reliance rather than your dependence on others or external systems. The mental transformation component involves developing the ability to think clearly under pressure and maintain focus on long-term objectives, despite short-term discomfort or social pressure to return to comfortable patterns. This means daily meditation or contemplative practice that builds your capacity to observe your own thoughts and emotions without being controlled by them. This means studying materials that expand your understanding of human nature, leadership, and strategic thinking, rather than consuming information designed purely for entertainment or social validation. This means setting increasingly challenging goals that force you to develop new capabilities and push beyond the limitations that previously defined your sense of what was possible for your life. The spiritual transformation component involves developing a sense of purpose and meaning that transcends personal comfort and connects you to something larger than your own immediate desires or social approval. This means regularly examining your core values and ensuring that your daily actions align with your deepest principles rather than just your momentary impulses or social expectations. This means taking responsibility for contributing value to others rather than just extracting value from your environment and relationships. This means developing the courage to stand for something meaningful even when it is uncomfortable, unpopular, or requires personal sacrifice. But here is what makes the 90-day protocol so powerful. The isolation forces you to confront every weakness, fear, and limitation that you have been avoiding through distraction and social buffering. When you remove all the external sources of validation, entertainment, and comfort, you are left alone with the raw material of your character, and you must either develop genuine strength and self-respect or face the crushing reality of your own weakness and dependence. Most people cannot handle this confrontation, which is why they never attempt serious isolation or quit within the first few days when the discomfort becomes intense. But the men who complete the full protocol emerge with a level of self-knowledge, self-respect, and genuine confidence that cannot be faked, borrowed, or taken away by external circumstances. The transformation is not just internal. It becomes visible in how you move, speak, and handle challenges in ways that others immediately recognize as authentic strength rather than performed confidence. People who knew you before the isolation will notice that something fundamental has changed, even if they cannot identify exactly what is different. You will handle conflicts differently, make decisions more quickly, and exhibit a quality of presence that commands respect without demanding it. You will be less reactive to other people's emotions and opinions, while being more responsive to genuine opportunities for growth and contribution. You will discover capabilities and interests that you never knew existed because they were buried under layers of social conditioning and comfortable habits that prevented you from exploring your full potential. So how do you implement this protocol without destroying your career, relationships, or responsibilities? The key is strategic rather than complete isolation. You maintain your essential obligations while eliminating everything that is optional and non-essential. You communicate your boundaries clearly to friends and family, so they understand that you are unavailable for casual social activities, but still present for genuine emergencies or important events. You restructure your living environment to remove temptations and distractions, while adding tools and resources that support your transformation goals. You create accountability systems that help you maintain discipline when motivation wavers, whether through tracking your progress, working with a coach, or finding other serious individuals who are committed to similar growth. And you approach the process with the understanding that 90 days of intense discomfort is a small price to pay for decades of increased capability, confidence, and life satisfaction. The protocol works because it forces you to develop genuine self-reliance and internal validation, rather than depending on external sources for your sense of worth and direction. When you know you can handle 90 days of voluntary hardship and focused growth, you develop unshakable confidence in your ability to handle whatever challenges life presents. When you have proven to yourself that you can sacrifice short-term comfort for long-term transformation, you develop the kind of discipline that allows you to achieve goals that seem impossible to people who have never tested their own limits. If you are ready to stop making excuses and start making the kind of transformation that will make your current self unrecognizable, follow this channel and turn on notifications, because the journey from ordinary to extraordinary requires information and inspiration that most people will never seek out or apply consistently. The 90-day disappearance is not about running away from life. It is about developing the strength to engage with life from a position of power rather than weakness. Are you ready to disappear and return as someone completely different? What is the first distraction you are going to eliminate to begin your transformation? Share your commitment in the comments.